Broadcast is live. All right, so you're going to be responsible to include anybody in the chat channel.
Okay.
All right.
Will it come up on StreamYard that someone's?
No, it'll come up on the.
I was gonna say I don't think.
I forget how this works.
So.
Yeah, not here.
Right.
All right, yeah. So click on that and see if it comes up. Show. All right, yeah. So that's it. It'll come up right in StreamYard.
Oh, so I don't have to let them in. It just comes up.
Yeah.
Here.
So
I just need to watch it.
You can leave it up and then take it off and then switch to others. Okay.
I see Tom is the only person in uniform. He's the only one that has the correct uniform on.
Yes, I'm so glad you noticed that, Fred. I can't even tell you.
She was like, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "I bought it."
He pulls it out of his purse. I'm like, hello.
I had a lot of trouble. I noticed I completely blew off everybody in the chat channel when I was game mastering because I was so focused on game mastering. So, talked with Tammy and said, "Hey, you handle this while I game master. I think that's that'll work good that way." And I don't know if anybody remembers, I started coughing in the beginning of the game last time, and luckily I had Werther's because I had a bad itch in my throat and a lot of Buble on hand, and so I was constantly chewing candies to try to keep that itch out of my throat. Hopefully that won't come back. So to recap last game, you guys managed to buy a shuttle, get yourselves insinuated in a mining ship. You did 6 months worth of mining and refining, made 180, I forget the exact numbers, 180,000 for 6 months, which was averaged out to about 30,000 a month. And so you're sitting on a bankroll. You can pretty much do anything you want with that. I mean, if you want to go out and buy motorcycles, you want to go out and buy spacesuits, weapons, whatever. You have fairly much carte blanche on that. And so you made it back to the station. There was a mouthy crew who was mouthing off about dropping off weapons at some asteroid that had a airlock attached to it, and there was a little bit of trouble with them. And when they were trying to DD them out of the station and leave, their ship blew up, which now in the aftermath of that, Space Mines, who runs Planeron Station, they're claiming that their atomic drive hyper-ignited and overloaded, and that it wasn't anything but just a technical issue. And that's what Space Mines is trying to claim. And the Star Law Marshal on the station is saying, yeah, I don't know. They were suspected gun runners. And so it's you can do with that as you want. The official company statement is, it was engine trouble. Their engine blew up. But this doesn't really happen much like this. It was probably something else.
If I recall correctly, one of the members of that crew got poisoned in the bar.
That is correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very much similar to Captain Stein, if we all remember. Captain Stein,
right.
who literally had a heart attack at the door to naval intel offices for the Royal Marines.
And comb over. We chased comb over guy.
Somebody, right?
Yeah, we chased comb over guy, and he got away.
Cog. I like calling him Cog. Comb over guy.
Yeah. Baby, is there any way you can turn that speaker up for me a little bit?
What do you mean? Oh, volume-wise?
Yeah, volume-wise.
I think so. Yes, I can. Okay, try that. It's all the way cranked.
Somebody say something.
Something.
Hello.
Hello.
That's no. You meant the speaker, not the mic.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time.
All right.
Testing. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
We got 2
5.
computers going, but we're only allowing 1 speaker, so we don't get feedback.
2 turntables and a microphone.
So
I'm gonna hear that all day tomorrow now.
the also a couple of changes. So has everybody updated their character sheet with their money?
I have the notes for the money. I kind of added everything up that I have. I wasn't able to actually write on my character sheet, apparently, for some reason. I don't know why, but it's fine. I got the notes.
Yeah. So you should have at least 170,000 in credits, and
it was the exact amount was 182,578 per share.
Yes, but you should deduct for your loan and pay that off, and just so we could just ignore the fact that you had a loan for your shuttle. So it was like 172 when the math for the loan is. I'm not going to worry about it at this point. We'll just move right along. Make sure you account for a spacesuit. I put in the Facebook chat there the Nighthawk's quick reference. This is the digitally remastered. It's not supposed to be available on the internet anymore since 2018. So if you don't have it, save it to your files because it's a rare bird nowadays. Page six has all the mag boots, spacesuit armor. Get what you want. You have more than enough money to buy it. Anything else off the equipment list, I'll let you put that on your character sheet.
Will a Skyne suit be enough, or do I actually need a
A Skyne suit intercepts ballistic damage. Somebody's throwing a punch at you, it degrades that damage. Somebody's beating on you with a club, it degrades that damage. It's for ballistic, melee. Somebody's shooting you with a gun. So the Skyne suit's good. You should have a Skyne suit, but you're also going to need a spacesuit.
Okay, and, I think that's the only thing I'm going to pick up.
Any changes or restrictions because of being Drazolites?
No, the only thing about the spacesuits are spacesuit costs 1,000 credits, but for a verse, it's more expensive. It's 1,500. Nobody's a verse here.
Tom, that credit amount, it's divided amongst 5 of us. Is that right?
No, you each have 172.
Oh, okay. Beauty.
As nice. I recall, in the last session, we negotiated that it was that amount. That the amount was being discussed, but we had negotiated that paying off the digger shuttle was part of the deal.
Okay,
but we can work it out.
Yeah, it was 182,578 credits per share, and then if so, you spent 55,000 credits on the shuttle. So that's 11,000 credits. So minus 11,000 credits from the 182, and you get 171,578. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, literally, you can just write a bunch of stuff on your sheet and do the math later. Cool. Whatever you feel your character needs for the upcoming part of the adventure. So I think we're all caught up. Everybody feel like they know where we're at in this adventure.
Remind me how she died again. What happened again?
Well, the autopsy said it was a heart attack. But on video, they saw that she was bumped by the white comb over guy with the milky white hair. And so they think maybe he must have injected her with something somehow. And they believe he was using a hollow screen.
And as I recall, we found a video from the prospecting mission that she went out on that showed a secret base in an asteroid field. We don't know where. Did we turn that over to the Clarion Royal Marines yet, or not?
No, you haven't.
Okay,
that's still chips you're holding. But you don't know the location for it yet.
Right. But so we might want to consider contacting the Marines and having that conversation with them.
So you can fire that off. Also, the professor has, in this past 6 months, he's finished out the school year and he's taken a sabbatical, and he's flying out. He's very happy with what you guys have done. It's let him pay off a significant portion of the bank note on the mining ship, so he's real pleased. And he's coming out to meet with you. He shows up, and he's got a bunch of books, and he goes aboard the shuttle. He's going to be an NPC on the ship for the next segment, and he's going to be using his time to research and write. And so he'll be there as an NPC on board the ship as well.
What's the robot's name? Is that Robbie?
Robbie.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Robbie. And so I've also thought about this, since you guys made on average $30,000 a month for 6 months. From this point on, just so we don't bog down with math on the mining end, I'm going to roll a dice for each month. I'm going to roll and see, because that last haul, we consider that to be a rich haul. That was you had gold, you had some good metal in there, and so I'm going to do I've done up a little table, and I'll just throw a die for each month, and so we'll just say that it'll be rich, medium, or poor haul. And it'll be between 20 and 30,000 for now. And then later on, I'll do some more number crunching in the book to figure out what is the true range for a rich to a poor haul for a month of mining, and make up a better table. So I've just fudged the table together. We'll just roll a 10-sided die. Okay. And it'll be slanted to more likely be a medium to poor haul and the rich haul will be just fewer numbers on that 10-sided die rolling. So it's 1 through 4 for a poor haul, 5 through 8 for a medium, and then 9 and 10 for a rich haul. You've already had one rich haul and made out really good. So it'll just be simpler that way to just throw one die and go 30,000, 25,000, 20,000. Fair enough?
Sure.
Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds good. Make it simple.
Sorry, that might be me because I'm trying to put on the anchor. That might have been me.
What's going on?
Oh, where did you go? Why are you? Oh, it's just me. Nothing. No, you're speaking. I'm just trying to put it on a speaker so you can hear them better. That's all.
Oh, Tammy's messing around with settings. So there we go.
So
the ship heads out, and you find one of the marker buoys that you had not had a chance to go to has been destroyed, and
Really?
so you go to the location of the claim, and it's the claim has not been mined, but the buoy has been shot up by somebody, and so during that month, you're collecting. It ends up being a fairly rich haul. So for the first month, there'll be you do well in the mining. During that time, Robbie is fawning over the professor. He seems very like if he was a human, you'd be like, what a brown noser. with the professor, but he's obviously very dedicated to the professor because of his prior relationship with the professor's wife. And then during that time, there is you receive a call from Hamish, from that prospector that was claim jumping. He just assumed that ship was never coming back, and so he was mining the claim. He calls you to say, "Hey, I found another prospector ship. It's derelict, and he wants to know if he's contacting you by radio. You have subspace. Can you relay a message to the Royal Marines? Looks like somebody shot up the ship. What would you like to do?
How far away is that ship?
It would be about a half a day journey with your engines.
And does Hamish know if there's any survivors on board?
No, he's saying the ship is shot up. It was a small prospecting ship like his, small, digger shuttle, hull size 2. And he knew the prospector, and so it's been shot up by laser weapons, and so he's a little bit concerned, and he'd like to at the very least relay the location. Do you wish to go and do any investigation?
Well, so at this point, have we relayed the fact to the Marines that we have that video?
Yeah, you can. You've had plenty of time to relay that.
Okay, so I'm curious if they had any kind of opinion on where the location of that base might be, or how to proceed.
They don't, because even when you look in the video, you don't see much of the star field. So it's like it would be almost the only way you could to localize that location would be as if you had enough of the star field that you could then have a computer spend some time running and compare against known star locations.
Okay. So just to refresh my memory, we have 3 laser batteries and a rocket battery as weapons on the ship, right?
That is correct.
And then in terms of defensive capability, we have the ability to shoot rocks out the back.
Yeah, you have
a laser out the back, if I recall.
Yeah, you have 2 pod lasers. They're not as strong as the laser batteries, and they are a forward fire weapon. But since they're mounted out the back, it's the forward fire arc just applied to the back of the ship. It's very limited. But if somebody's right in your tail, directly behind you, you're getting a plus 10% anyways for on a forward fire weapon like that when they're directly lined up. So they're effective for somebody trying to come up behind you. The chaff is also there. It functions as a masking screen. Anything shooting through it.
And the chaff are the rocks shooting out the back, or is that something?
Yeah, that's just processed rock that you eject out the back of your orbital processing lab that's bolted on the boom of the ship.
So we have spacesuits, which means if we were to investigate this wreck, we could put on our spacesuits and check out the wreck. I wonder if that
you should have all picked up spacesuits by this point.
Spacesuits with armor, I would recommend.
Spacesuits with armor. Yes, I like that idea.
You have plenty of money to buy spacesuit armor.
Yeah.
You can wear sky suits or albedo suits underneath the spacesuits as well, as I recall, right?
Yes, I believe you can.
And can you wear defensive screens?
I believe you can also wear a defensive screen as well.
Okay. I would think that we would obviously. It seems like this ship kind of stumbled into a place where it shouldn't be. So it'd be great if we could try and salvage it and get access to the computer records and maybe get a clue as to where it was prospecting.
Let's see. So,
all right, if that's what everybody would like to do.
Yeah.
But do we want to report it to the Marines first, and then tell them what our intentions are?
You probably want to report it. Probably want to be law and order.
Right.
Yeah, I think we would want to let them know so that so if somehow they show up, that they don't think that we're the ones that
good point.
that caused all the havoc and shoot first and ask questions later.
Yeah, when we reported, let's say that we're going there to see if there are any survivors we could help, so we have a plausible reason to be there.
You never know. There could be somebody.
I believe Hamish also has a claim for you, as he promised, and so he'll transfer that to you as well.
Hamish coming through after all the great things we did for him.
Very nice. Yeah. Thank you, Hamish.
So he's happy to be helpful. You made a contact there with a prospector who kind of likes you because you helped him get out from behind the 8 ball by letting him take some of that processed gold. and get his bills up, caught up current.
All right, paying off.
Might have to,
Rock and roll.
if he keeps this up, we might have to have him over for dinner.
We'll let Robbie feed him.
We'll just
Yes,
There we
Robbie.
go. Yep, Robbie.
Yeah.
got a healthy appetite. So it takes about a half a day to get there under 1 ADF that your ship can do. And when you approach and come within a 0-0 intercept, you can use the ship's launch, which is just compressed air to go over, bubble hatch, canopy on it, and you'll have to use spacesuits because this ship's no longer got pressure. It has been shot up. It's a digger shuttle, very similar to your own, with master cabin, living quarters. But the ship has been shot. It looks obvious to you to be beam weapons of some sort, most likely lasers.
Is there like a name? Is there a name on the ship or anything like that that we can see? Or
yeah, it's Gold Digger.
Okay.
It's just the ship. So going aboard. Who's going aboard the prospecting ship?
I'll go.
Well,
put on
given that I'm the weapons person, I probably should stay on board our ship and man the weapons. Just even though I'd love to go on board, I probably should man our weapons in case somebody hostile comes in.
That's true. I'm the pilot, so I don't know if I should go over.
I guess it's up to the Dralosites.
And Cammy.
And the
Indeed.
human. And the human.
Gru,
Well, yeah, and the
Gru is-
human.
I've been in
Gru
firefights.
fears
Cammy,
no
before.
mining
She can
ship.
handle herself.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
if I'm not mistaken, the true Dralosites are the computer expert, the engineer. So they're going to be ideal for looking at the damage of the ship. So let's start with John Lamb.
I think you got it wrong. We're both space ninjas.
oh my God.
Only if you have martial arts.
Oh, we've got martial arts, mister.
So I'm going to assume then that since your pilot's staying back on the ship, on the mining ship, that you're taking the launch, which is just compressed air, vehicle. It's just for crossing space between two ships, and you pop the bubble canopy. You're already in your spacesuits. Either one of you, I'm assuming you're just maxed out with your defensive equipment. And so what would you like to start with on this ship?
I guess we'll determine the functionality status of it.
Well, you can see that the engines have been shot, and the hull is holed.
As shot as in shot?
Yeah, no, yeah. There's like laser damage to the engines.
When you say the hull is whole, did you hold as in it has holes in it, or it's whole?
Yeah, there's damage. There's damage that let the hull decompress, and the hatch is open.
By the way, do we have comms with these guys? Like, do we have radio or video or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it sounds to me like power is probably out of the powering this thing up is probably out of the.
I wouldn't want to power it up anyway. It'd probably blow up.
Probably.
But we might be able to turn the lights on.
Well, I assume that for spaceships, when your engines are down, your engines pretty much power the whole ship. But I assume that every deck should have at least a para battery, like wall bulkhead or something, to turn on the lights, operate.
We'll engage the emergency bypass and turn the lights on.
Yeah. So I mean, so you're entering the ship. You discover when you get into the ship and you get into the flight deck that the that there's a human, not in a spacesuit, who has been effectively duct taped to the chair, and the both doors of the airlock are open. So he's not only was he in the ship when it was decompressed.
Ooh.
It now looks to you like first he was killed, then the ship was shot up.
Oh.
So not only is he dead, but he's really dead.
Yeah.
What makes us know that he was killed first and then?
He's duct taped to the chair.
Because he was duct taped to the chair. That would.
Oof.
So is the hull intact? Or are there holes in the hull, or with just the airlock doors opened up?
There are holes in the hull. There are the engine's been shot up. So it looks like the hatch was opened, the man was killed, and then the ship was shot up. You would assume that from what you're finding.
Not to mention the frozen mess from the gross.
Very thorough job.
All right. So John Peck, what would you like to try to?
I am going to try to look for the black boxes and any of the computer stuff that we can grab, since there's probably not enough power to get the information. Maybe we try to see what we can find out from any of the computer stuff or the.
Well, you should be able to operate the computer from the pair of battery that's there for emergency power.
Is there an onboard camera that would have recorded the interior or the exterior of the ship?
This ship is equipped with external cameras, similar to the ones on your digger shuttle.
So that would be very helpful evidence to get access to.
We'll go for the cameras and anything that can help us figure out.
Is there any ID on the body?
Yeah, this is the owner of the vessel. Hamish's vessel is close by. He knows who this prospector was. It was a regular prospector that he knew. We'll say his name was John. Just one of the regular wildcat prospectors, friend of Hamish, and so he's a little bit upset to find out his friend has been killed this way. When you dig into the computer. There's video on the computer of another digger shuttle that had the Rockhound, nose art.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
it's the stolen rock. It's the stolen Rockhound,
and but it's been painted over, with a new logo. And it's it's a human hand with the middle finger up, and it says "Digitus Impetus." So this is the former crew member who stole off with that was never captured, who stole off with the ship that came in, and it now appears that they're responsible, for this for some reason.
Well, like I said, we're going to grab any of the records that we can. We're going to try to see if we can make a copy of that video, and any of the other records that we can get.
Do they have anything in their hold?
Yeah, he's got some unrefined nickel iron ore in his hold. Like one hull unit, one cargo unit worth of nickel iron unrefined ore. So it's not very expensive. It's not very pricey.
Is there a salvage value to the ship?
Well, there is, but it's an active crime scene, so you probably want to allow the Royal Marines to come in and investigate, since they're clearly it's an act of piracy.
But to be clear, no Dralocytes were hurt, right?
That's correct. Cammy, is there anything you want to look into?
It was just a human, right?
Yeah, is there anyone? Oh,
it's just one human.
Is there anyone else on the ship? I mean, is this just a one-man operation?
This is a one-man operation.
Does the computer records have anything about any of his what do you call it, the beacons for his mining beacons.
Yes. So he's got a couple of mining beacons out there, and so we'll say he's got 2 mining beacons out there, and you can grab those locations if you like. You could actually claim jump them because he's obviously not going to object.
Well, I think we should at least investigate them, because what I'm thinking is possibly that John, our friend
Of the gold digger.
John of the Gold Digger, was probably too close to somewhere where he shouldn't have been, and
Right.
our new friends probably, knew about that, so they took care of it.
Gonna check out his quarters to see if there's anything of peculiar or unique interest.
So what would you be looking for?
All of the stuff you mentioned was not worth taking because it's evidential. It wasn't like, oh, this is worth millions, but he might have something of sentimental value, or actually has something of value, like he was holding on to this one space diamond, or a asteroid opal or something. That one thing that he has hidden away in his little squirrely box.
Well, I can imagine that in a ship this small, with the cabin as small as it is, where he's, living, cooking, eating in there, that it's kind of messy. But you search the cabin, and you find that he's got a collection of hard copy books. A lot of books are digital these days, but he's actually paid money, good hard cash, for hard, actual real books, and he seems to have a fairly extensive collection of them. That these things aren't cheap anymore because they're becoming more and more rare.
So this human was a dirty, stinking bibliophile.
Yeah, he's got a collection of books, novels, just most likely just to keep himself, from climbing the walls too much.
Probably AD&D 1E manuals.
Maybe.
There's a lot to read there.
Bring that stuff back. We're running low on toilet paper on the ship, guys.
Hey.
Oh.
The books are interesting and of worth, so he will collect all of those up.
Well, I would, thank you for doing that, because Nemu likes to read new books. He is a reader, like I mentioned before, so he would like to possibly share the books. He has interest in the books as well.
That's nice of you to accept a share that I didn't offer.
Only nerds are going to be on here arguing about books. I love this.
Tom, quick question: from the video evidence, do we actually see any individuals, or we just see the former Rockhound digger shuttle?
No, you just recognize that it is the former Rockhound digger shuttle that rendezvous with them. There's a recording of a voice telling him to stand down or be fired upon. So there's a little bit of a negotiation there. The external cameras also catch some spacesuited individuals. You don't see any faces because of the mask on the spacesuit. Came over, and then the system was shut off. So apparently they came aboard, they shut off his system, and you also note that they've shut off any emergency beacons. You could actually, your engineer could actually fix that problem and put the emergency beacon on for to help the militia find, the Royal Marines find the ship. That they clearly intended for this ship not to be found, but luckily Hamish stumbled upon it.
Sounds like a thing to do once the books are secured.
Sure.
And does Robbie or the professor recognize the voices that are on the tape on the recording to confirm that it is the old crew?
Yes. Robbie can confirm that that is the voice of the old crew.
And how many members of the crew were there?
Well, there was 4 who left with the shuttle. 3 of them have been picked up by the militia out on Planaron Station. The one who is the problem child that was giving a problem to Captain Stein goes by the name of Danny Boy. And he was never caught. And so it's him, and the ship has disappeared and has not been seen. But if this ship was used, it has been equipped with some sort of a laser weapon that it didn't have prior.
And so you said we saw spacesuited figures. So how many enemy figures were there?
3.
3. And do we have footage of the digger shuttle shooting on John's ship? Do we see?
Don't have that footage.
Okay.
The camera system was shut off on the gold digger, before the damage was done.
Got it. And in the computer records that we've recovered, can we see where this ship was most recently? Can we plot the course that it was on?
Yes. He's been out on a course prospecting going from major asteroid to major asteroid. And he's left 2 claim buoys out there. And there's no video of the asteroid with the portable airlock attached to the side of it. There's not that. There's no video or evidence that he found anybody else's claim buoys, just that he's been doing a long loop prospecting.
Well, they obviously weren't after the wealth because they left the stuff in the cargo hold.
Right.
Yeah.
So then he seems to have just seen something or gotten too close to something. So
that's what they left behind.
Oh.
He could have had like a space diamond or something, and they already took that and left.
That's true.
You don't know what they took, yeah.
That's true.
But he is in trouble because there's only 2 things that Gru hates in the universe, and one is getting flipped off
by a human,
and especially a human. And then it's the nickname Danny Boy. That's just the worst.
Yeah, it's like cringe, a little bit of cringe factor there.
Really? What was wrong with Danny Boy?
Oh, come on.
No, it's funny. Me personally, I tend to break people's fingers when they flip me
something
off.
out of the air real quick and writing it down. Because I don't think I actually named that. I don't think I named that NPC prior to this. And I probably should have actually had a list of NPC names that I could just use one and cross it off. But
that's all good.
So Danny Boy is what you pulled out.
So how do we secure our?
He's a dead man.
Well, I saw a post on Facebook from my college roommate, and his name was Dan.
Oh.
So it was at the back of the brain.
You're giving away your secrets now, Tom.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I just pulled that out of the air real quick. So sorry about that, but that was like that time that I named an NPC Fred, and then Fred was like, "Oh yeah, we can't trust those Freds."
So how do we secure our salvage rights? I assume we're going to take the nickel iron off the ship, but how do we secure our salvage rights to this ship once the Marines are done?
I think technically Hamish would be able to claim salvage rights to it since he found it and called you.
But he didn't actually go on board.
He didn't go on.
Yeah, you got to plant a flag.
Or did he go on board because he knew his buddy was dead in this way? So maybe he went on board. Who knows? Maybe Hamish might have cleaned out.
Did
anything left
Hamish say
behind.
anything to us that suggested the guy was dead or how he
Yeah,
died?
no, Hamish called you, hoping that you were in the area, so that you could use your subspace radio to get the militia out here faster than what he thought he could do with just the radio, because the radio moves at speed of light, so it takes longer. Subspace radios is more instant for the communication factor.
Right, but has Hamish, if we chat with Hamish, has he actually gone on board the ship?
Yes, he has.
Oh, he has. Okay.
Yeah, he had a half a day to just sit there and look at a dead ship. So I'm assuming he went on board.
He's got the space diamond.
Yes.
Check
So then do we get to take the cargo, the nickel iron, or is that technically his?
Well, you could, or you could leave it to him. It's a low grade cargo. I don't know that
It's couch change.
it's nickel iron.
Probably the books that John picked up are probably worth more than the probably worth more than the nickel.
Yeah, no, that's the books are have historical value, and he plans on giving it to a library. But the nickel iron, if we took that, we'd look like vultures
Yeah.
or humans. So just
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We'll leave it for Hamish.
All right,
He's
so you're gonna proceed to backtrack his course.
Yes.
That's
I think
what I'd recommend.
Sure.
I think the information we gathered from the ship is probably more valuable to us than the actual ship in its present condition.
All right, so the professor's a little bit concerned that you're no longer mining, but he's okay with you pursuing this because if there's a chance he can get the shuttle back, he's happy with that. But as you spend 3
I would
days,
hope the professor would want to find the murderer of his wife as well. That might be of interest.
What sort of professor is he?
what? Sorry,
What sort of professor is he?
he's a history professor.
Ah,
Plus, we let the professor know that the last buoy that we went to was blown up, and by us going to this ship, we basically have 2 new buoys to mine.
so once the books are all in Gru's cabin, he will invite the professor to peruse over his collection of books because he is a historian. He might be interested in such a thing. Not necessarily where he got them.
These are mostly fiction books. They have value because they are hard copy books.
Exactly. The historical value of being books is what I meant, not so much the
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. He's not that excited about them. They're mostly just that they're valuable. You could certainly sell them for at the very least 100 credits a pop. And you've got like 8 of them.
Realize that Gru was reaching out to a human to show him that there was possibly some interest in the things that he likes, and again, human just took a big dump on him. So no more.
Yeah, that's what humans do.
Yeah, well, it's the professor. He finds them interesting in that they're books. It's
Too
just
late.
that they're not a
Too
topic
late.
he's interested in.
Too late.
But anyhow,
Typical human.
as you proceed, backtracking this course, you find the first buoy. It's a medium value claim, and so you're able to. I'm going to presume that you're going to recode it to pretend it's just your buoy.
Right.
Sure.
Of course.
Right.
And as you move on to the next one, it's the second buoy, and it's the 3rd day of travel. That's suddenly that computer program subroutine that John Peck's character set up starts pinging. You locate your missing buoy, the 5th buoy that you guys had out there that you didn't know where it was. You activate it, and it starts pinging.
Oh wow, that's good.
And so that can lead you on further. You could just bypass this buoy and go on to that one because that's the one you suspect where the rock is with the airlock.
Nice.
So, Richard, is there anything in particular you want your character to be doing?
Checking the radar for ships
Nice.
or whatever it is we use in Star Frontiers.
You
Sending
have
out
radar.
pings.
You have radar, and then you have energy sensors. The radar has a 300,000 kilometer range, so 30 hexes, and in game terms. And then the energy sensors are your long range sensors. They'll pick up they can pick up a volcano on the surface of a planet. They can pick up heat from a ship. Under power. So your energy sensors are your long range sensors.
How close does the buoy have to be for us to be able to pick up that ping?
The buoy is within 300,000 kilometers, so within 30 hexes. So it's just a short distance more. How do you wish to proceed?
Do we have a clean scope? Are there other ships in the area?
You're not picking up other ships in the area.
Okay. Do we have to ready somebody on the weapons? Or
I'm on the weapons.
You're on the weapons? Okay. I'm afraid we're going to get this thing and jump.
Batteries. I'm not on the. I can't. The rocket battery is computer operated.
Okay.
The rocket batteries are the only weapon system you don't have a skill represented in the party. So you just, no skill bonus for using them.
Okay.
So we're not exactly in a warship here, gang. So before we proceed, we should think about what we might want to do if we find the space, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So presumably the Rockhound would be easier to detect so one option could be, do we try a boarding party in like a digger shuttle, right? Where the digger shuttle might be a little harder to detect. I mean, is that sound reasoning based on the technology in the ships?
Yes.
So that we could try that. We could try, if we can kind of narrow down where we think this is, we could call in the Royal Marines. That's not as much fun because Warmock can't kill anybody that way, but we could do that.
Well, I
just throwing that out there.
I do like the idea of letting the Royal Marines know where we are, especially if, we suspect that there's something off with this asteroid. We might need some backup because we don't know if these guys are alone or not. And we just saw what they did to the other space shuttle. The other mining shuttle. They pretty much laid waste to them. I mean, so
we would probably want to narrow the field down a little bit, though, right? In the sense that can we share the frequency with the Royal Marines that they would be able to pick up our buoy? So let's say that we go missing, that if they came to the area, they'd be able to pick up the buoy. And
you can give them the coordinates for the buoy. So I've already predetermined that you're going to effectively be there within an hour or two to this other buoy.
Okay, so we have an exact location of the buoy. It's not like
it's giving you a location. I've already predetermined that I just rolled the dice and it came up 1. So there will be a militia ship that's responding to this location of this crime. It'll be here in a day. So you could wait a day, or you could proceed on your own.
What do you want to do? I do think we should radio them the location in case we need the cavalry to show up. But what do you want to do about proceeding?
Are we close enough that we could mine the other asteroid or whatever, the other location, the other buoy, and while we're waiting for basically just enough until the other guys get close, the Marines get close, and then we could just kind of roll into there together?
Well, if we did that, though, the Marines would probably want to take over jurisdiction. And being the entrepreneurial space folks that we are, don't we want to get a crack at that booty first?
I,
And take a
I
little
would
bit of
say I would
revenge for the
normally I
poor
would say
professor whose wife was murdered?
I mean normally I would say yes to this, but I mean if it's illegal, like weren't the other guys running guns and stuff like that? I mean something doing illegal stuff.
Yeah,
I
we have
mean,
guns
and
too.
we just called the cops to come check it out. So when we would have to act pretty quick to if we're gonna grab any of that illegal booty or whatever, like you said, and get out of there before they even get in there, because the cops are gonna be following us right on in.
Gru is thoroughly enjoying this typical human behavior, being nefarious and malignant.
What behavior would that be? I'm a Yazirian.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Unfortunately, it's very similar to human.
I think that Gru looks at life through a certain lens, it seems.
Very specific.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, my interest is not in the greed, it's in the bloodshed.
Fair enough.
Very nice. Very nice.
And this from a former Port Lauren Police Department
Yeah,
officer.
right.
I was fired.
I quit.
He's got some vengeance to burn there.
That's right. Well, but if the longer we wait, the chances are they may detect that there's people coming. They could abandon the station. I mean, I think that I would vote for going to check it out. But we're being cautious in the sense that we're giving them the location so that they can follow in our footsteps. But I think we should go check it out.
I agree. No guts, no glory. Let's go.
Which ship do you want to proceed in?
How long would it take us to use the digger shuttle to get there?
They accelerate the same, so you've got the same speed whichever ship you take.
And in terms of the ability to be stealthy with the digger shuttle, that's greater, right? But we have no armaments on the digger shuttle.
That is correct.
And the other nice thing about using the shuttle is if something happens, we can tell Robbie and the professor, hey, we're going to go check this out. If things seem to be going awry.
Didn't the bigger shuttle have a new piece of equipment put on it, like a big grabber arm or something?
Yeah,
we bought a grabber arm, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually spare. You got it for 500 credits. You could sell it if it was new. You could sell it for 8,000 credits.
Gotcha.
It's not new, but like new.
we just earned 180,000 credits each, so that really has next to no value at all.
Right.
Yeah. And you just stole 800 credits worth of books off of from a dead man. So
stole nothing. Salvage.
That's right.
So who's going to go?
Neither Robbie or the professor can actually pilot the ship, right? So if something happens to us, they're basically dead in the water waiting.
The professor can't operate the ship at all. But you've learned that Robbie somehow brought the ship into port after more or less fighting off the mutinous crew.
Huh. He's a surprisingly talented synthetic.
Still very suspicious of him.
Yes. I still think he has a comb over, but yeah, I basically just tell him it's like, hey, we're gonna go investigate. We're gonna go investigate the claim, and if something goes awry, then
good luck.
Good luck.
Well, yeah, they should wait for the Marines, or they should try to go back to the derelict ship, go back in that direction.
Oh, so you're gonna have them wait with the derelict ship?
No, they can wait. The derelict ship was a days back, right?
Right.
So,
We want them to stay in the. I believe we want them to stay where we are right now aboard the Rockhound, and we're going to get on board the digger shuttle and go stealthily investigate the space station.
All right. Well, as you approach with the digger shuttle,
And we're all suited up in our spacesuits with armor and defensive equipment on.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Noted for the record.
That's right. Screens up.
Yeah.
you do find the beacon, and as you approach and you're scanning, you do locate that asteroid that had the airlock mounted on it, and there is a digger shuttle that is docked at that airlock, and it is the Digitus Impetus, aka former Rockhound digger shuttle. There, and it's not operating. You don't know if somebody is sitting in the command deck watching their radar. You know, I assume that you're attempting to use other asteroids to screen you, but you are able to use the astrogation equipment, which I presume to include telescopes, to look from the distance. You get the sense that this is the similar vantage point that Captain Stein observed the video that she made, that she was obviously bringing to the Royal Marines. So how would you like to proceed?
We have cameras too, right? On our shuttle, you said, right? So we can
Yeah.
record. We can record all of this.
Gru's with the Arzarian. Danny Boy has to die.
I agree.
Now we're seeing things eye to eye, Gru.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I to like little
Yeah.
patchy bits.
Eye to nerve bundle.
My nerve bundles are a quiver.
Oh my goodness.
Now, do we want to send a message back to Robbie and the professor confirming what we've seen here?
We'll give
You
our
would be
information
sending-
away.
You would be sending it back by radio, and
Right.
if they happen to be listening to the radio,
Probably
Others
not.
could too.
it
Yeah,
would
radio
kind of
silent.
announce your presence.
Right.
Yeah.
That would
Well, I
kind of
assume there
stop-
are other channels though that we can.
Robbie won't do anything to help us, and the professor is useless. He doesn't even like books, so it's useless to
Well, he
contact.
likes history books.
They do know our location. So if we can study the layout of this base, how would we gain entry? Is there an airlock? I imagine we don't want to dock, right? So we might want to do an EVA in our spacesuits and try and find our way over there and get into an airlock or something.
Well, you have a problem in that the digger shuttle has one hatch, and that's docked to that portable airlock that has been mounted on the side of that asteroid. So you have to, cut into that ship to get inside,
How?
or cut into the airlock. Drilling into the rock of the asteroid is not going to be an approach. But I assume that you must have enough weapons of mayhem that you could cut a hole or use the laser power torch. That's the engineer's toolkit to cut into the other shuttle.
Gru has engineering toolkit and power torch.
So if we can find a way to sneak up, and I kind of like the idea of us, a couple of us going out and seeing if we can sabotage said shuttle.
Disable it for sure.
Do we want to disable it or just take it over?
We just want to get into it because
Yeah.
then we can get into the airlock of the station.
When I say disable, I was thinking like pulling a fuse, not like destroying it. Just making it so that he can't fly away.
Right.
Gotcha.
Or
All
maybe
right.
maybe we want to take it and fly away in it.
Right. I still want the airlock to be operational so that we can
And then he's got some cool, interesting toys on his shuttle, so we might want to salvage his shuttle.
Right.
Well, the professor wants
professor owns
they
the
want
shuttle.
that shuttle back, right?
It's
wants
stolen
that back.
property. So if you got it back,
Oh,
you'd have
that's
two
true.
shuttles to use on the ship for your mining operations.
But then the extra toys that they added to the shuttle, we could add to our shuttle, and give the regular shuttle back to the
Well,
professor.
it would. So I mean, the objective here, right? Ideally, is for us to maintain surprise in getting in there, So
Right.
if we somehow stealthily hack the ship and get into it, I agree we could try to disable it in some way that at least they can't escape. But if we need to make a hasty exit,
Sure.
that may slow us down too,
Make it,
right?
like,
The
take
bottom line is let's get in stealthily into the station and cause some bloodshed and mayhem.
sure.
Is there any
Take it.
kind of remote?
We'll take his steering wheel.
Is there any kind of remote control? Anything we could hack into and take over the shuttle?
You could pull panels on the engine, and then it would be basically an engineering skill check to sabotage the engine without actually destroying, causing real damage that you couldn't undo. So that would be like I'm going to judge that to be about 10 minutes worth of time to pull a panel and do that. So that'll be a skill check for the engineer after you get there. As for stealthily getting into the ship, you're going to have to cut into the ship. And I think
not a stealthy way to go.
that's probably not that stealthy. Or you could blow a hole if you had enough explosive.
What's the smallest hole that would be required for someone that's properly squishy to squeeze through?
Well, this was actually a question that was asked way back and was addressed in the Dragon magazine in their questions to the editor. A Drolosite would not be able to fit under a door. Some players thought,
Sure.
So basically, you're going to have to cut a hole for you to go through in your spacesuit. So it's you're looking at doing about 200 structural points of damage to either the portable airlock or the shuttle hull. The airlock might be your best bet. In fact, the airlock might actually be more fragile than the hull of the ship.
Do we have? Hold on. Do we have the robot arm thing on our shuttle? So what if we sneak over, disable them, grab on to the other shuttle with the robot arm, and just rip?
If we bring our shuttle up there, they're probably going to detect us, right?
Yeah, you could chew into the other shuttle with your digging equipment, but that's gonna. I mean, we're talking about it being some damage.
Yeah, let's do the portable one. That way we reserve the shuttle is fully functional until we want to destroy it.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought we had like the
With
hand
Danny
thing.
Boy on it.
I thought we could have the hand thing. I thought we had a hand thing we could just, and then just grab on and just pull it.
But
Yeah,
they're going to lose any surprise, right? If we move our shuttle up there, they're probably going to detect us.
Well, I mean, we kill their power, so they can't do anything, so they can't shoot at us, and then we just try to rip them off the airlock. So they're going to be like.
I'm more concerned about I'm more concerned about what's inside the station than I am what's in the ship. Right? We want to get inside. The goal is we want to get inside the station.
They're going to have a really bad time if they don't have air and pressure.
They're just humans.
Yeah.
Gru hasn't done his EVA yet and attempted to disable the engine. So I'm just saying, you can use the digger equipment on the front of the shuttle's nose to chew into the airlock,
Right.
damaging that. And if it breaks away, the ship will begin drifting. If there's no pilot on board, then it's kind of dead in the water. That would be to your advantage because then you could recover the shuttle whole. Or you could chew into the shuttle and then, with that digger equipment and then back off and EVA go through the hole. All up to you how you want to go about this.
I think we can disable the shuttle. I think we disable the shuttle and then dig a hole through the airlock.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you want to have Gru do an EVA.
Okay.
Well, let's think this through for a sec. Do we see any evidence of weapon emplacements around the space station?
No. It looks like an ordinary rock with just a portable airlock stuck on it. And hello, Wizard Tower Games. Thanks for showing up for the live stream.
Yeah, they're asking. He's asking about a tractor beam. That's not in Star Frontier's tech, unfortunately. A little bit beyond that.
That would be Star Trek or maybe Traveler. I don't know if they have those in Traveler.
See, if we had the transporter, you just transport over to the shuttle.
Right.
No.
Beam me up.
Well, what if we? Let's see here. We're talking about. I still think our best bet is to try and cut into that shuttle, and if we could always take that shuttle over, and we could pull away if we wanted to, right? But if we cut into that shuttle, we have the option of either trying to infiltrate through the airlock stealthily, or we could pull away.
Why don't you want to cut into the airlock instead of the shuttle, since the shuttle's attached to the airlock?
Right.
Well, if we cut into the airlock, we're not sure what's on the other side of that, right? So couldn't we risk decompressing the station?
Just probably humans. Troslites would have the common sense to be wearing spacesuits. Well, let's just take a vote, and we'll do that.
Is there a difference between how long it would take to cut through the airlock versus the get into the ship?
I think the airlock's probably more fragile than the hull of the ship. So I think that if you flew in with the digger shuttle, there would be, less of a chance for them to react. It's up to you, though. You go for the shuttle, you can go for the airlock.
If we go for the airlock,
you're saying if we flew in and we tried to dig our way into the airlock.
Yeah, that'll just it'll chew into, it's designed to grind up rock, so
right.
I would imagine that it would just chew into the metal and and cause significant damage.
But then at that point we'd have to EVA.
Your thoughts of the decompression and all that are valid. One has to assume that the second that it becomes a decompression, that emergency hatches are going to drop. So I don't think if it happens to do it, it'll just lock it into place, and then the shuttle will be separated from it no matter what, because then they can't get through because the blast doors will be down.
Right, but the problem is we have to cut through those doors to get access to them, which is why stealth, I think, is the better approach here, because whatever defenses get triggered, we have to find our way through those.
Okay.
In the station.
It sounds like you don't want to kill anybody. You're not much of a Yarzarian.
No, I do want to kill them. I don't want to be killed in the process of cutting through doors. That's the thing.
Gotcha. Cowardly lion.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so let's cut to this. Let's go through the ship then.
All right, so you're going to chew into the ship?
Well, we're talking about doing an EVA to cut into the ship.
Right.
Okay.
Not clawing.
Right.
We're gonna find.
We're gonna be stealthy about it. Yeah.
How about an engineering roll for the easiest access point, and then I'll cut through that.
All right, go ahead. Make an engineering skill check.
Let me.
One half your logic plus 10% for your skill level.
All right, one half of my.
We're all EVA around their ship at this point, right?
Yeah, you can.
So that I think everybody else should be armed and.
Oh yeah, and we want to make whenever you cut through, make sure you cut the power so that they don't have power, so that we can just go in.
I have a logic of 60, and what was the other thing you said?
10% for your skill level. So your chance is 40% chance to identify a really good soft spot on the shuttle.
Stand by. 08.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So you find a spot that you believe you could cut into that ship, in less than 10 minutes of cutting with a laser power torch,
which I happen to have.
which you happen to have as an engineer.
Well, because I just bought it, but yes.
So you want to spend 10 minutes disabling the engine.
Disabling the engine?
Well, I heard that as a plan, and I said,
What we're trying to do is we're trying to gain access.
Yeah, we're
into
just trying to
their
gain
ship.
access so we can stealthily board the ship.
oh, okay.
So basically, he was trying to find a spot that he could get into that wouldn't decompress the whole ship. That then once they were in there, then they could go forward.
All right. Then you cut into the I would say that you cut in the spot you identified as the cargo hold to cut into the ship, and that would, if there's anybody about in the ship, they're probably not in the cargo hold where rock is stored anyways. So you cut into the cargo hold. It takes you 10 minutes, and you don't spot any reaction during that 10 minutes time, but you all begin to enter the cargo hold. It is empty. There's no rock in there. And then there's an access hatch that would access the cabin, but as soon as you open that, it's going to decompress that cabin.
All right. So before we do that, each of these areas, especially the ones that can be open to the environment like that, would have an emergency patch section. So he's going to spend a few minutes and patch that hole.
Okay.
You want to roll for that, or is it just something that would do?
No, that's just something an engineer can do.
Okay, so they will help me. You will help.
Yes, we will.
Of course.
I don't know about this human, but sure.
So you're
Right. Humans have their purpose. You know.
You're feeling yourself inside an enemy ship.
Sure.
So
When you put it that
before we go about patching that, right? Do we want to spend the time patching it? How would we get? So we're in the cargo hold,
Right.
right? How do we get to the airlock of the ship that then enters the airlock of the station?
Well, the ship is self-contained. It's just got the one airlock, which is connected to the portable airlock. It's just got the one hatch.
Do we have a map of the ship or no?
I can pull up a map.
So you were saying earlier you didn't want to decompress anything, so that's why I was going to seal it up so that although it will suck some of the air in, it won't go anywhere. It'll just fill this space back up.
Right. No, I'm not disagreeing with your plan. I'm just trying to see if there's a way that's more time efficient for us to like.
Yeah, I think they have the one airlock, the one door. I don't think it's that big of a ship.
Got it. Okay, then I guess we have to patch it.
Anybody that runs around with the middle finger as their icon is not going to have redundancies.
That's a good point.
What is it humans love to say? YOLO.
Oh.
So the rest of us should be pointing our weapons at what doors are in this cargo hold then? One to the front and then one to the airlock?
So there is an access hatch that goes to the rest of the ship, and then you've got a cargo hatch, and you guys cut in through, I'm going to say, soft spot in the cargo hatch, and he's repatched it now.
Okay. So to get to the airlock, we need to go through the other hatch that's in this cargo bag.
It'll probably be a hallway or something like that, leads to another area, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And hopefully there'll be some humans for you to kill. Go Yarzarians.
I won't discriminate. I'll kill anybody that opposes us. Any race.
Drazolites as a species do not oppose anything except humans.
Cammy tries to step on your foot, but there's so many.
We're like Doritos. We'll make
All right, so weapons out. We are going to proceed ahead through that cargo hatch.
Sounds
We want
good.
to stand to either side of the door when we open it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just do a share screen here. All right, Tammy, are you able to add that to the?
Oh, yep, I can. Sorry.
Okay. So in the hatch, if you notice here, there's a little hatch in this map, and it goes up to the deck above. And when you open
it's-
that, you're
You make
muy-
that bigger.
Yeah, it's muy pequeño. There you go.
Thank
There we
you.
go.
I'm like, I cannot see.
All right.
Okay, thank
So-
you.
there we go. Sorry about that.
So where
all
where
good.
are we right now?
So with this ship, the cargo hatch that you cut into is on the bottom of the ship.
Okay.
On the digger shuttle. This is the digger equipment in the front. Nose opens, and the flight deck, the personnel deck is up above the rest of the ship, and you come up through this hatch on the floor.
Yeah.
Where's the airlock?
And it happens to be in the airlock area.
Okay.
It's a deck. There are no floors on a ship.
So you managed to get into the airlock area with still apparently nobody reacting to you.
And that's where can you highlight where that is on the map?
Yeah, that is this little corridor right here.
They're all in the asteroid, huh?
Well, you don't know. You haven't
We don't know.
you haven't searched the whole ship.
Yeah.
And that's probably worth our while, don't you think?
Yeah.
We
we
don't
should
want
probably-
to leave any enemies behind us.
Why don't
right.
we lock the door from the inside first and then search the ship? That way they can't sneak up behind us.
or at least
Yeah, I like
post
that.
one person at the airlock. So we're
So what if
watching it.
what if we lock the door to the aft cabin,
Oh, that's
right?
good.
And then we first searched the bridge, and
Correct.
we said we wanted to disable the shuttle, right, so that they can't take off. So maybe we could do something to disable the shuttle in that regard. Then we can sweep back.
Fair enough.
I don't know if
Sounds
we want to
good.
disable it though, because we might need this to get out of here.
We'll just,
Well,
we'll
something
just-
that we could
that way.
easily.
yeah,
if
we talked
if
about
we
it
took
before.
a piece with us, right? If we took a chip or something with us, and then we could insert it back in if we needed
Sure.
to go.
Like
Okay.
take their steering wheel or something, right?
First, we gotta get in there.
Take their fuzzy dice.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Gru will watch the hatch door while they go in and investigate the bridge.
Okay. So you open the bridge. The bridge is empty. There's nobody on the bridge. The radar is going,
Okay.
and if somebody had been on the bridge, you can see that they're picking up an anomaly, which would have been your shuttle.
Oh,
So luckily for you, there's nobody on the bridge observing. Otherwise, they would have raised the alarm, or they knew you're there and they're going to get themselves armed. You're not sure which it is. While I'm going to assume John Peck's character,
Mm-hmm.
Captain Nemo, is attempting to disable the shuttle. That's when this airlock from the back opens up, and it sucks air in from the other. There's a whoosh, and Gru is face to face with a human who's got like a bowl of, a squeeze bulb of food that looks like he just prepared himself an oversized squeeze bulb of food, and so suddenly you're face to face with a guy who is not in a spacesuit but just in a sky suit.
Murder him.
Gru had his power torch at the ready because he was going to do some more structural stuff. So he's going to point it directly at his face and say, "Don't move, don't say a word, or I will melt you, human scum."
oh yes.
So
Well, you
Can
can,
we see what's happening from the bridge? Can we see what's going on there?
yeah. Well,
It's a short distance.
I'm assuming you did not close the bridge hatch, so
No.
so you're aware of this.
Yeah.
The laser power torch can be used as a basically as a laser rifle, just very short range. So so the guy has a. I've just rolled his morale off of his personality, and he drops the squeeze bulb and is reaching for his sidearm.
Oh, he fires.
Go ahead and roll initiative, Gru.
Percentile again.
Smoke this
So
dude.
just roll a d10 and add your IM.
Stand by. My IM.
Will those of us that are on the bridge also get to act
Yeah.
against this guy?
Hold on. My IM is a 6.
All right.
Stand by. All right, here we go. An 8 plus a 6. So.
All right. So you're much faster than him.
And much more
Go ahead
beautiful.
and melt his face.
You what? What'd you say?
You're much faster than him. Go ahead and melt his face.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna love that.
From top to bottom like a zipper.
Bro.
Love it.
Since we're basically at point blank range, does it just happen or do I need to roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna say at
He
this.
can't miss. He's like,
Yeah,
no,
this
he's
range
not.
I'm
is
sure he's
probably-
gonna. I'm sure he's gonna scream before he drops to the ground.
Yeah.
In space, no one can hear
So-
you scream.
Well, he's going top to bottom, so it's going to cauterize the throat anyway. So
Oh
How
my
many-
goodness, who just said that?
5d10.
Ew.
Average of
That
5.
was that
would
was
be-
John. John.
Oh
So let's
my
say it was an
God.
average of 5, so it's 25. So this guy is not dead, but you've
He's not dead.
No, you've blasted him in the face, and he loses his footing. He only had Velcro booties on, and he goes flying backwards into the cabin, and you know he is pretty
Oh.
well stunned at this point. What would you like to do?
well,
Wow.
hopefully somebody else is going to react before he stomps on this human like a cockroach.
Yeah, take him prisoner.
All right.
Well,
So
Well, can we-
Typically, Gru is in a 3-arm, 3-leg situation.
Sure.
So he's going to put one leg on his torso, one leg on one arm, and one leg on the other arm, and hold the torch to his face. You shut your mouth, stupid human.
All right. At this point, he thinks better of resisting, and goes ahead and lets you capture him.
Fair enough.
The
Hey guys, you want to come in here and
Yeah,
take this?
we'll hurry over there.
yeah,
this-
I
sure-
think we hopefully
make
we
sure
were
it's
successful. Hopefully we were successful in pulling all the fuses out, or the ones we
Yeah.
needed to. Yeah, whatever we needed to just make sure that they couldn't fire their guns at us. Temporarily.
All
Yeah.
Well,
You
Maybe-
focused on disabling the weapon systems on the ship.
Yeah, I mean for now. I mean just like not permanently, just enough like
Sure.
they were saying, taking a chip or something, and you
All
know,
right.
maybe like something that they can't fly at, and you know a couple chips. So, you know, we just kind of take it with us, and yeah,
but so that they can't fly it, right? And the
Right.
weapon systems was a good idea, but I think the flying is the primary thing, right?
right.
Wizard
All right.
Tower Games asked a question, and no, it is not different in Space Frontiers. We just didn't mention it yet because of the action.
Do we want to steal this ship?
Well, you can't.
We-
You can't steal it because it's already stolen. You're just recovering stolen property.
Well, yes.
Right.
I mean, when we can take it later after we take care of these guys, possibly because
We don't know what Danny Boy looks like. The only one that knows what it looks like is the
It was
robot.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Well, even if we knew what he looked like, we couldn't recognize him now. His face is not
Right.
He's got he still has fingerprints.
fingerprint.
He probably has tattoos or
We can
others.
assume that
True.
you guys probably dug into the records on the ship and saw what he looked like, and this was not Danny Boy.
So I'm taking
Oh,
out
that's a
my
good point,
out my laser pistol, and I'm leaning over him with the pistol up against his temple, and I'm saying, think very carefully. Tell us how many people are on this ship aside from yourself.
Good job, Warlock.
4.
Where are they?
They're in the asteroid.
Okay.
Is there anyone else on the asteroid? So you're saying there are 4 more people in addition to yourself?
Yeah, they're in the cavern. No, they're 4 including himself.
Right,
Sorry,
so
excuse
4
me.
including himself.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else on this shuttle other than yourself and us?
No.
Are the other 3 armed?
Yes.
Describe
Ask
them
them what
to
it's
us.
mining for. What are they mining for?
We're not mining for anything. We are the guards of Clarion.
Oh.
Well, if you play your cards right, you're going to live to see another day. So describe your three fellows to us, so that way we know them and we can take them into custody.
Can
At this
anybody do
point-
like an intelligence check or something to find out if they know what Clarion is?
Well, Clarion is the inhabitable planet in the local system.
Okay.
Let me ask the 2 former police officers, did you take the time to look into criminal activity in the Clarion system?
We did. We know that there's a gun running ring going
Right.
on, and there is some kind of a subversive organization that was trying to overthrow the government.
Right.
Yes. Well, Guards of Clarion is a terrorist organization that wants to overthrow the monarchy. They hate the monarchy, and so they're labeled as a terrorist organization. They came out of the Liberation Front, which was in Warriors of White Light. And there's something I created years back, but they're a more extreme version of the Liberation Front, and they call themselves the Guards of Clarion. They're really hardcore committed to the overthrow of the monarchy.
What are you using this asteroid for?
This is well, he does not know who established this asteroid base. He refers to it as a cavern.
Okay.
Do you have a map of the base on board the shuttle?
It's just a hollowed out cavern.
So when we walk through that airlock, there's just a cavern?
Yes.
What do we need to do to successfully get into the airlock without your friends knowing? Do you have any alarms or traps set up?
Probably not going to tell
He starts thinking, and he realizes that he's really betraying his friends, and so he just kind
I
of
press the gun harder against his temple. I suggest you tell us the truth, because we have ways of knowing if you're going to lie.
yeah, he's like, at this point he makes a decision and kind of just tells you to go screw yourself.
Oh.
Okay.
He's gonna fire up his torch. I got it from here. Step back.
Wait, hang on a second. We take out a dose of tell-all from the med kit.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Nice.
You dose them with tell-all.
Yep. Now,
And-
while two of us are interrogating, Gru and I will interrogate him. The rest of you keep your weapons trained on the airlock to make sure we don't have any other surprises
How
coming up.
about we lock the airlock from the inside so they don't surprise us like this guy did?
Yeah.
Well, that would be good, except for the fact that if they can't get into the ship, they'll find that to be out of the ordinary. We would probably not all of them would come in at once, right? So if there's three of us on one side of the door and one of them trying to get in, we have the upper hand regardless.
Yeah, I think we could do is because both of these doors are open. One of us could like hang out in the bridge of the ship, or at least one of us can hang out in the bridge of the ship, and then the other person can hang out close to the cabin area, kind of pop out, like just like you said, guard the airlock. So there's two people that are taking cover and kind of covering that door, while the other two, take care of this guy.
Okay.
That sounds good. We should, and we're taking him at his word at the moment, but we still need to sweep this ship to make sure nobody else is on it.
Yeah.
So one or two of us should probably. So I think one person should watch the airlock, and I think two people should quickly sweep the back of the ship, just to make sure.
So when it's just the Yarzarian, the Drowsite, and the dirty human on the floor, I'm gonna ask the Yarzarian. I said, I thought that all humans were terrorists.
Oh.
Is that not true?
No one except for Cammy. What?
In my experience, that's often true, but not always. Not always.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna make this one talk. So I'm gonna administer the tell-all.
All right, you've got 3 yes or no questions you can ask him, and then he passes out from the tell-all.
Okay, so let's think about these very carefully.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's a tough one because we don't
So
know.
yes or no. So we could verify the information that he's given us, right? And ask, is there anybody? Is there anyone else on this shuttle? We could ask, right, to verify that. And based on the answer to that, then we can ask, are there only 3 other people on board the station, right? And then based on the answer to that, we'll inform our third question.
How about we consider, if he said that it's just a cavern, and they seem to be fairly unscrupulous even for humans, how about we consider why they're even here as the primary question?
Well, we know that he's only going to answer yes or no.
Right.
So we're not going to get that context. We know
Well,
that
that's fine. That's fine. We need to word the question in a yes or no format, but in context, that's what I want to know. It's not. Those are all valid questions, but.
So I hear where you're going with that, right? But we know they're up to some nefarious purpose because we're standing here in our stolen shuttle. So I don't really care what their motivations are at this point. I want to know what information is going to be.
It has to be something more than just a cavern, or they wouldn't have come here. They're not here to pee on the walls. I mean,
but they're probably storing weapons here as a way station to sell the weapons.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, go ahead, ask your questions.
Okay, so are there any other members of your crew on board this shuttle right now?
No.
Okay. Are there only 3 members of your crew aboard the station?
Repeat the question again.
Are there only 3 members? Because what was said to us previously, right, was that there were 4 of them total, right? So are there only 3 members of your crew aboard the station?
Yes.
Okay. So now we've got that verified. So what do you want to ask him as the final question?
Is the purpose of storing this asteroid to store?
Well, you're not there.
Okay.
You're not there.
I'm just saying that okay.
So I'm gonna say, because Draslights have phenomenal senses of humor, he's going to say, "What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?"
No, oh my God.
No.
No, no, no,
Not a
no,
yes, no.
no, 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 no.
What?
So I think we need to ask a question somehow related to getting access to the station. Like, is there
well,
is
yeah,
there a,
that's
is there a
good too.
trap, or is there? We need to word it in such a way that we need to know if there's something that we need to worry about. Right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
are there
Good
booby
point.
traps?
Right.
No.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
now,
right. And now he passes out, right?
yeah, the tell-all will knock him out. And I think it's just a limitation they put in the original rules to prevent players from just asking a million questions under tell-all.
Sure.
So we're gonna tie
Passes
him.
out, you won't be able to ask any more questions, but you can certainly tie him up with ion bonding tape, which is in the toolkit.
We should tie him up, and I think we
Please,
should administer a status, which will knock him out for 24 hours or 20 hours.
Yeah.
Or we could just hit him with a brick.
He's only a human.
I happen to have one right here. So we're going to tie him up, and we're going to administer a status.
Okay.
Did we frisk him? Did we see?
Yeah. So he was carrying a Jaguar jet pistol, and he's got the usual pocket litter of Everflame.
Pocket litter. That's
What's
funny.
this food thing though? Remember he was walking with the food thing?
Yeah, it was a squeeze bulb of protein paste that he cooked up in the kitchen. It's in a squeeze bulb so that it's it doesn't go everywhere in 0G. He was making himself
it's just disgusting human food, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's a universal protein paste that's edible by all 4 species, although not all 4 of the core 4 species would probably find it palatable.
I mean, it's not pudding, so
Not everything can be pudding.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
that's true.
Well, he'll take the gyro jet pistol, of course. Not because he necessarily wants it, but just
Souvenir.
some sort of payment for having to deal with him.
All right. So we've disabled the ship. We've established there's nobody else on this ship that can come up behind us. So do we want to take a quick sweep of the ship, or do we want to start to head into the station?
I will sit here and guard I'm going to still guard. If you guys want to sweep the ship, I will guard the airlock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So we'll take a quick sweep through the ship.
Okay. You go to the next cabin, and there's several crates there. Nobody's there.
Any markings on the crates?
Well, one crate has 20 grenades, fragmentation grenades in it. Another crate is just a crate of SCU clips, and then there's
Space diamonds.
There's no diamonds, but there's another crate with timers for explosives.
See?
But you don't find any explosives.
Humans are terrorists.
These guys are not good.
We don't know if we're going to find any non-humans. We might find some non-humans among the crew.
Interesting.
But let's keep searching.
You just go back to the engine access, and the engineering area. There's a hatch down. That's the for them to do the engine overhaul on the atomic drive, and you don't find anybody in the engineering space.
Okay.
Cool.
Then let's prepare for our assault.
All right.
Indeed.
I'm just going to go refresh my drink, so I'll be right back.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah, baby. We are
I'm assuming they come up close to the front, so I'll say, what'd you guys find back there?
Space diamonds.
Space diamonds? Did you grab me a couple? I've been sitting here the whole time while you guys are having all this fun.
Nope, you didn't say you wanted one.
Oh, come on, man. You know I'm up down for some space diamonds.
Yeah, Engineer Gru is pretty stingy.
And
What
a
else
human
did you
being.
What else did you find, man? I know you can probably have the diamonds. What else did you find?
Were any of those crates empty?
Yeah, you could say there's an empty crate there.
Mm. And there were
You
no
want to stuff
explosives.
the human in it?
No. If there are no explosives found and there's an empty
Wow.
crate, that means the explosives are somewhere.
Or they're just selling blasting caps, which would be the
Mm.
more lucrative aspect of bombs.
Yeah, there's a case of like 15 variable timers, but there's no. I don't know if you hear that noise, but our dog's coming in the room.
No. I just watched him figure out how to open the door.
I thought it was going to be like an episode of Sister Wives, and another gamer was coming on.
What?
I occasionally have to call cut when I'm videotaping a video because the dog came in and started making noise just with his toenails on the floor.
Or sleeping or anything.
Yeah, or yeah, he snores like a human.
He's like 120 pounds of
Nice, very nice.
love.
Get him a BPAP.
Oh,
I don't know.
poor
Poor dog.
Tucker.
But yeah, there's it's a variety of stuff. I mean, what did I say? It was like 20 fragmentation grenades in a case. Case of 20 SEU, 20 of the clips, the 20 SEU clips. So I mean, there's a little bit there, but it's they're probably on the asteroid doing stuff.
Here's a thought. Being that we are veteran spacers, the crates, were they loaded in the form that they had been set for travel, or they just been put on and they need to be anchored down for travel? Did they bring them with them, or did they just put them on?
Yeah, no, they're not floating around. They're anchored down. They're locked down.
Okay, so they more likely they brought them with them or took the time to lock them down. But that's not enough, so gotcha. Very well.
Hey, I think Nemu wants a couple of the frag grenades and maybe a couple extra magazines.
Sure.
The one
So
thing
I'll
that we need to be careful about, if this is a weapons depot, is using using the frag grenades might get us into a jam. So we got to be careful about that. Using like incendiary grenades or frag grenades might cause an unintended reaction. So just bear that in mind when things start to fly.
I also know for a fact that laser fire will set off TD-19 explosive. Just a little fun fact.
That makes me sad.
What kind of non-laser weapons are we carrying in case we assault this cavern?
Gyrojet pistol.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds like it's going to be some oof.
Cammy's got some.
An electric sword.
I got an electric sword and I've got a tangler grenade.
Yeah, I have 10.
I think you've got a sonic weapon.
I have a sonic disruptor.
Sonic disruptor.
Well, it looks
I
like
have a smoke grenade as well. A couple of them.
yeah, I have a smoke grenade and a tangler grenade
Yeah.
and an electric sword.
Is your sonic disruptor in the shape of a screwdriver?
No, her sonic disruptor's a rifle.
It's
Oh,
just
gotcha.
messing. Oh my
I had
God.
bought 10 of each type of grenade when we were on the station.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So-
He's ready for a fight.
It's not Danny Boy. If Dan the hero didn't get his answer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna grab. I'll grab Or
Well, lasers are my most effective weapon, so I'm still going to go with my laser rifle.
When we exit the airlock, does it have like a keypad that Gru could quickly throw his engineering to put a personal lock on it, a beep 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 beep, like a little 3-point lock on it, so that if they were to get away from us or get around us, they couldn't get to the ship and take off unless they figured out the code? Is that possible?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say that since you're on the inside of the shuttle, you can actually recode the lock, to a
Okay.
pin number that you like.
And he's going to tell everybody in the group, including the humans, that what the pin number is.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Now, if they have a technician, he could, he would be able to, do a disabled locks roll, but it would take him time. So
Sure, absolutely. That's all we're trying to establish.
oh yeah, definitely.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Could we do 2 of them? And make it a 2-stage?
No, it's just one keypad lock.
Fair enough.
We're going to make sure nobody gets past us.
Yeah, you could put one on the cockpit also. So they get in, and then they have to unlock the cockpit to get in.
That's
so that really slow them down.
So when you open that airlock, that hatch, it opens into a short tunnel, which is that portable airlock. More than enough space for all of you to fit in there. And you approach the next airlock. There's a little window you can see into. There's a lighted area. You see crates with weapons out in there. You see that there is a small computer terminal has been set up, a pair of battery, and there are 3 people in there who've taken their helmets off of their spacesuits and are kind of going through and rooting through, crates. And, they look like they're, servicing weapons. There's some heavy weapons in there. It looks like heavy laser, heavy machine gun. So some variety of nastiness in there, various crates. And they seem to be doing stuff intently with the weapons.
So we have our spacesuits on, right?
Right.
That is correct.
And our helmets on. So do we want to go in with a barrage of Doze grenades and try and knock them unconscious? Does anybody have thrown weapon skill?
No skill directly, but I'm all for the sleep grenades.
I have thrown weapons 1, so I think I will try. It's either that or Tangler grenade.
How about suck out the atmosphere?
Well, I don't think we're going to be able to do that, right? We're in the airlock.
We just break the seal and we just suck the air out, right?
That is correct.
But then the door will come down. The one door will come down, right, and lock us out.
Well, this portable airlock has doors at each end. So I mean, if you disconnect the shuttle and open the the door that was mated to the shuttle, and then blow the other door, it'll blow explosively and suck the air out. I'll give each of the bad guys a reaction speed check to grab their helmet.
So don't we want to try and capture who we can in case there's bigger fish to fry here?
Yeah.
Without sounding like a broken record, which is like a book, but it's an audio sort of a thing. They're only humans. I mean, do we really care?
Let's try to subdue them.
Well,
let's try and hit them with a couple of
maybe there's a reward for their capture. If they're dead, then we won't get the reward.
What if they're bad enough? It'll be a dead or alive. So we're okay either way.
Whoa.
Who's got a high dexterity?
No.
I got a 65.
Yeah,
Drew, I got freaking 6 limbs. How many limbs you got?
let's let's three of us with the highest dexterities go in with dose grenades and hit them with the dose grenades. The other two shoot them and try and weaken them from that standpoint.
Yeah, because
If
I
that
don't
doesn't
think
work, then we can get a little more violent on the next round.
I'll take some
Fair
Doze.
enough.
I'll take a couple of the Doze grenades because the only weapon that I have is a melee weapon. Because if I use the laser pistols and there's explosives in there, then that could
Yeah,
be
I've got
bad.
I've
I
got
had
10
a-
dose grenades, so I'll give 3 to each of you, and I'll hold on to 4.
Okay, because I'm
Okay,
Okay.
3 Doze grenades.
Let's do it.
All right.
Now, just ask mechanically. I got 3 arms and I got 3 grenades. Can I throw all 3 of them?
No, you get one attack with the.
I knew the answer. I was just being goofy. Go ahead.
Okay, so as the door opens, there's a guy in there, a Drolocyte, who looks right at the door as you're opening it, and he starts to say a name, and then he stops saying the name and he yells. So
Hit them. We're throwing the dose grenades at them.
yes. So let me just roll for surprise. All right, the Drolocyte is not surprised, but the other 2 guys are. The other 2 humans are. And let's roll for initiative. Who wants to roll for initiative for the party?
Ooh.
Who wants to roll?
I just
We
need
use
one of you to roll.
the highest modifier in the team.
Yeah, just roll D10 and add your initiative modifier.
I got a 9.
I got a 9 too, and my initial modifier is
9 it
7,
is.
so it's 16.
A 7.
All right.
Oof.
No, I got a 9 with my IM. So
Yeah. So you guys tie, but he's drawing a holstered weapon. You have readied weapons, so I'm going to let you throw first.
Hold on. We were letting the higher IM person go. That was the 7.
That was me.
Whatever she got is our.
I got a 16, babe.
Oh, you got a 16?
Because I rolled a 9 and my
Fine.
initiative modifier is 7.
You still get to act before him.
The other John was just musing. He was just letting you know.
Oh, okay.
okay.
All right.
Well,
So
okay.
what's the order here?
So
Yeah.
roll 3 grenades. Let me pull up a bounce table.
All right.
So I'm throwing a grenade. Gru is throwing a grenade, and who else is throwing a grenade?
The other Drolocyte, I believe.
Both Drolocytes are throwing the grenades. And
okay.
and our other 2 then our other 2 party members are shooting them with whatever weapons they've got. So I'll roll my grenade.
We're using RS, right?
Yeah.
I rolled a 30, which should be a hit.
Actually, you're using your dexterity.
Okay.
Right. So I have a 43% chance to hit with ranged weapons. With thrown weapons, I should say. So
Did you
I
hit?
rolled a 30.
Okay.
Now,
Just
ideally,
made it.
are they clumped together, Tom, or are they so that one grenade could affect multiple of them?
They're a little spread out, so you need to hit each one with a Doze grenade.
Okay. So
I made my roll.
We're each targeting one.
So who did you target?
I'll target one. Do I see comb over guy?
No, you see
Ooh.
2 humans and you see a Drolocyte.
I'll target one of the humans.
I'm gonna target that rat bastard Drolocyte.
All right, go ahead.
And whatever one the
other human.
the other human can suck a grenade because I made it. So let's.
Bruce got a 60
right.
dexterity, and I rolled a 35. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's a hit.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
he can suck it.
Bro.
I can't believe there's a Drolocyte with these freaking terrorists.
All right.
I'm very disappointed.
Did my human pass his check or not?
So they, I'm just checking on the Doze grenade. I think they get a stamina check.
They do.
All right, all 3 passed. So it's game on. Who's shooting?
Guess I'll shoot.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah.
That's the problem with those grenades. Oh well, we tried the pacifist route.
Well, Tangler grenade gets a reaction speed check.
Right.
Yeah, I missed. I just rolled a 96, so I missed.
Yeah.
What do I get a roll, Ben?
All right. Let me just roll the bounce table. Oh no, that's you're not throwing a grenade. You're shooting.
Yeah.
Okay. So well, which weapon are you using,
My
babe?
I only have, other than grenades,
You
I got a laser pistol, which I know is not the greatest
you
idea.
got a laser, or you've got your sonic disruptor.
Yeah, but every time I use that, I get groans and moans.
Well, then shoot with the laser.
All right, I'm going to use the sonic disruptor.
The
All right.
laser will, laser will
But he's
kill
like,
us all.
So your chance to hit is half your dexterity.
My dexterity 65.
So okay, so that'll be 33 plus 10% for your skill level. Because you're level 1, right?
Yes.
So 43.
Yay. And I'm rolling 3d10. Is that what
No,
I'm
you're rolling D100.
D100? I don't have a D100. Babe.
Two tens.
Thank you.
Just count one of them as a 100. One is a 1.
Oh,
One
I
is a
don't
10.
have- Babe, it's because I took out my cute dice and I don't have.
You took out.
Can you-
All right, yeah.
Thank you. I don't have all that. So I'm doing 3.
Did we just lose y'all? You seem to lock up.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
we had an internet.
Oh.
So what'd you get?
Stun grenade.
Right, exactly.
I think you sat on your own dose grenade.
Oh, babe, your green screen.
Yeah, I'll go get it.
Uh-oh.
So what'd you roll? No, this and this, please. All right, you hit 31. That's a hit.
Nice.
Woohoo! Very nice.
Right.
Which one of these scumbags did you aim at?
Not the human. I'm kidding. The Dralocyte.
Hell yeah. Get that scumbag.
Smoke
You
him.
don't have any D10 over there, babe?
Yes, I do. Right here. Yes. Yes. Right here.
No, that's a D12.
This is a 12. I don't know. I don't think so. Wait, here. Oh, yes, I do. Yep. I just saw it when I handed it.
Right
to you.
here.
I know. These
And
are new dice.
Yes.
They're all super cute.
All right. 4D10, please.
4 of them?
Yeah, I believe that's the damage for the sonic disruptor at close range.
Nice.
Okay. So that's this one here.
The 10-sided dice, babe.
I love how he's explaining this to me. So I got a 60 and 90. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, drop the 0 because you're just rolling
Okay, a
D10.
6 and a 9. And a 6, or can you tell that's it's another 6. And an 8.
Nice.
So 12 and 9, 21, and 8 is 29.
Mm-hmm.
Are we at short range or point blank range with these guys?
You're at short range unless you want to close in closer.
Gotcha.
If she gets point blank range, it's 6D10 with that weapon.
Right.
Okay, and St. John.
Yes. I missed.
Oh,
Yeah,
you missed.
I
That's
rolled
right.
a 96, so I missed.
So,
Uh-oh. He might have hit one of the explosives.
yeah. So he's drawing his laser weapon, and the shot goes wild. He just rolled badly.
Yeah.
The Dralocyte. The 2 humans are stunned they were stunned by this explosion of action. So they'll act on the next turn. And go ahead with your follow-up attacks for the following turn.
Okay. Well, I'm taking out my laser rifle. Got the albedo screen up and inertia, and my sky suit's on under my spacesuit. Is there a box I can take careful aim on?
You want to shoot at a box?
Oh
No,
boy.
I want to take careful aim on a box. I use something to take careful aim and take one shot at the human.
All right, we had a little hiccup. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
So I want to use my laser rifle. I want to take careful aim and squeeze off one shot at the human.
At the human.
Yep.
All right, go ahead. So I believe you get a plus 15 for a careful aim.
Yep. And I rolled a 52, and my normal chance to hit with a laser weapon is 53, and then that's plus I get the careful aim bonus.
And what's your laser setting at?
Do you need to ask me that question, Tom?
Shoot to kill. Shoot to kill.
Well, so that's 20d10.
That's correct.
Let's assume that you rolled average of 5 times, so that would be 100.
He's a shadow on the wall of the cavern.
You burn a hole. You burn a hole in one of the humans.
Mission accomplished.
Next.
That's how it's done, Gru.
All right.
Gru's gonna go all Gru on the other Drazlite and close in and grapple. Wow, 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 wow. He's just gonna come at him. All 6 limbs.
So you're gonna grapple with him.
Yep.
Gru
Damn right.
grappling. That's what
Gru
it's called.
grappling. Grapple
I think-
Gru. It's time for grapple Gru.
Oh my God.
All right. Roll your dexterity.
It's grapple Gru time.
Roll less than your dexterity.
Well, it's either really good or really bad. I got a 0-2.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh, that woo! Really good.
Get him. Get him.
So you and him are wrestling, and you've got him pinned. He's going to be making a strength check.
How many limbs does he have?
To break free? And let's go to the next action.
How many limbs does he have?
What? Sorry,
How many limbs?
he has 5.
5. Well, I have one extra one, so I'm going to punch him in the gooch.
Your action was to grapple with him. So
When the opportunity comes up, he's getting one in the gooch.
okay. Wrestling rules. You get to automatically inflict your punch score on him with a successful wrestling attack. So what's your punch score?
I believe it was 6,000. Let me look real quick. Punch score.
6,000.
It was something good because you were pretty excited about it.
I think you and I have the same thing. It's same arms, so it's +3 punch.
Yeah, he's got 6 limbs, so
Well, yeah, your punch score is based off your strength. What's your strength?
70.
70. Your punch score is 4. So you
All right.
inflict 4 points on
Oh,
him.
nice. Very nice.
Suck it, you gooey bastard.
And so, John, I'm assuming you're going to shoot at the other human.
I am actually going to throw another one of the sleep grenades at the last human because we want one person alive.
Sure.
We might need answers. So, come on. Ooh, 23. Yeah, yeah. So let's hope he
All right.
sucks on this sleep grenade. It's a
All
nice
right, and
roll.
he drops to the floor. He passes
Nice. Well done.
Very nice. Very nice.
out. St. John.
Everyone's down, aren't they?
Well,
Nope.
the other Drawlicites grapple. So I mean, if you shoot into that, you got a chance. You got a chance of hitting your compatriot, or you could run forward and assist in pinning.
Use one of your goofy human legs and kick him in the gooch.
All right, I will assist as opposed to shooting because I don't want to shoot my friend.
All right. Well, I'm gonna assume then between Cammy and you and Gru that you're able to overpower this guy and take him prisoner as well.
All right.
So what you find out is after taking all 3 prisoner is that they are terrorists. Well, actually, you got a 4th guy on the shuttle all taped up.
Right,
The
exactly.
one guy is not going to be telling any tales. He's a shadow on the wall. Of the
Oh, that's right. So yeah, one guy's been burned down by
got
laser fire.
That was red mist.
Yeah. And so you have 3 prisoners, and what you learn from them is that they are guards of Clarion. One of the humans that you shot, let's go So you actually burned down the guy who stole the shuttle. Oh,
Danny Boy.
Yeah, you killed Danny Boy with the laser shot. And
Nice.
so they were guards of Clarion. They found this asteroid that they had been hollowed out, and they had mounted the temporary airlock on there and then reinforced it so it'd be more long.
And you're gone.
We lost
Where did you go?
I don't know.
Is he out of the room too? Did he disintegrate out of the room?
Disappear.
No, he's still over there.
He's gone. He's just gone.
Where did you go, babe?
Yeah, the page just failed. Let me click on the
For you.
Refresh.
That's so weird.
Nope, not that.
The guards of Clarion have quite a reach.
That's right. Apparently so. They don't like to be that you're talking bad about them.
Here we go.
Baby.
I just want it to be stated explicitly that Warmock's first military move was to suggest we use non-lethal force before I burn that guy into the wall.
Right.
We used the dose grenades. I gave out the dose grenades.
You did.
You did, and we used them accordingly.
That's correct.
So you learn that they were terrorists and they were using this as a transfer station for the gun, meeting up with the gun runners and then smuggling them in as quietly as they could into Clarion. So there's probably going to be a reward in place for capturing these guys.
Cool.
You find out that the Dralocyte has a hollow screen, and when you activate it, it makes him look like the comb-over guy with the milky white hair.
Oh.
So
Damn Dralocytes.
you
Sorry.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
Unfortunately for Captain Stein, she accidentally discovered these guys, and it led to it. But you also know at the back of this cavern, because your experience, even though you're newbie miners, you have enough experience to think this thing has been excavated. They did not excavate it, but at the back of the cavern is a circular metal plate against the wall. And they have, it's obvious that they have tried to cut and pry it away. It's covered in scratchy lines that were engraved into it. And they don't know what it is. And they've tried to pry it off the wall, but they were unsuccessful.
He's going to go back to the criminal Dralocyte and ask him, one serious question, and that is that the motif of the middle finger, was that your idea?
That was Danny Boy's idea.
He's going to still punch him in the gooch.
So, does it look like that those scratches are some type of writing?
Yes. The Dralocyte from Fromeltar, which is Captain Nemo, he would recognize that as a verse of Rusk script.
Do we have anybody that reads that? No.
I believe I chose that at an expert level. Let me check real quick.
Additional language. Let's see.
We could take some pictures though and find someone who speaks that or reads it.
That was a different character. Sorry.
All right. Let's use our all-in-one.
You're freaking me out too, by the way, Thomas, that you're not up where you were earlier, because I got used to you, and I don't like change.
And your human friend is up there now.
Let me just address David Floor. Well, this is Well, actually, Fred and Cammie, you guys have played in a lot of games I've run. I mean, this is a fairly typical game that I've run, I think. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, very often I just typed a response. We'd be fighting against the Sathar who are trying to overthrow the Federation, but the pirates are fair game too, or terrorists.
Yeah.
That combination of sort of skill and combat, right? Thinking and combat.
Yeah. And there's been a fair amount of investigation since we were doing
Fred was wishing that we had to face those yucky Sathar.
Those are gross.
They smell terrible.
The Royal Marines do show up within a day. They want to take the terrorists into custody. They want to confiscate all the weapons. If you guys abscond with the weapons that were on the shuttle, they're probably not going to, so the extra fragmentation grenades, the extra power clips.
You were saying they'll be here in a day, so I'm thinking we've got plenty of time to review the weapons and see if there's anything of real interest or value in there.
Oh, there's like 3 heavy lasers. There's several heavy machine guns. There's a case of 50 kilos of TD-19. So they were, there's some heavy, the rocket launchers. They were bringing in some real heavy weapons that should get them the death penalty under Clarion's law. Although they had not actually smuggled them into Clarion, but the intent was there.
We won't take anything, and we'll just leave it there when the Marines get there. But is there any way that we can cover up the and the answer is yes. Is there any way we can cover up the metal plate in the back, like excavate some rock around it and put some rocks and pack them in there so it looks like the rest of the rock area? And then they'll just come take all the weapons and say, we've just been keeping track of all these horrible weapons. We claim this little rock as our own.
All right.
Don't we need a Vrust to interpret that for us?
Well, at the moment, I just don't want them to claim it as some archaeological site.
Well,
you know how humans are.
Yeah.
Gru.
Is it reasonable to expect that we can take ownership of this base? Given
That's
that
what I was just saying.
Well, we have the claim, the beacon is
right.
This is our rock via the claim.
You can put a claim marker on it, and
I'm saying
it
wasn't that
ours, don't we?
We should already have the claim marker on this one. So
I
agree with Gru that we should.
Humans are the worst.
Yeah.
Hey, look at Gru. You missed the cat, the kitten.
He's got a little kitten.
Oh my god, he's got several.
Yeah, 5. Jeez.
Rescued 4 of them from one litter that was going to the shelter, and they're perfect little angels. And then another one that fell out of a car at the gas station, just dropped out, and it was tiny.
Oh, wow.
Barely weaned. And
geez.
I got them all the same day. So best case.
Somebody was just dumping a cat.
No, it fell out of the car. It was it was like in the grill area of the car. It fell out when they stopped for gas.
Oh my gosh!
My goodness!
It was in the grill area. Wow.
Yeah, wherever it was in the engine area, it dropped out and ran into the bushes, and I dove in there and got it, and it was just like a little Spitfire. So I got it the same day I got the others, but they're so mild-mannered that it's only been 5 days that it's been following their behavior. So he sleeps on my feet and he chews on me, but I can't pick him up just yet. But he's getting better. That's his best chance of recovery.
So Gru is destined to be a crazy cat lady.
You keep putting these pronouns and it's inappropriate. We are gooeyes. That's the appropriate pronoun, gooeyes.
So as you attempt to dig around that metal plate, you discover that you think it's hollow behind that metal plate.
Cool. We will investigate that after the Marines leave.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh no. Should we check it out now before they get here?
Sure.
I'm sorry?
Why not?
We might want to check it out.
They had tried to remove the plate previously. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
all the scratches.
They were not successful at removing the plate.
What if the runes are like, impending death to the galaxy or something? I think we should wait.
Hey, I wonder if Robbie knows how to read Vrask.
What about the professor?
Yeah, he's pretty useless, but he might be able to read that.
Well, he is a human. He is a human after all. So
we'll invite the professor on.
Do
board
we
to
even
see
want to
if he can
include
read
him
it.
on this? It could be important, and he's just going to claim it as his own because we were on the ship, and
Right.
everything has to do with the ship goes to him.
I don't know. I think the professor seems to be a pretty hands-off guy, so I'm not. I mean, it's up to you guys what you want to do, but
Well,
I
if
think
he knows,
we want to decipher this sooner rather than later, right?
the professor might not be so hands off if he knows like this is possibly why his wife died was because of
Or
this
worth
asteroid.
billions.
Yeah.
Should
He
we
may
just
not
ask if he
necessarily.
speaks for us.
Well, technically, so technically, we this crew just cleared that base, right? It's got nothing to do with the ship. So
Let's just ask
I
the
would say
professor
that we
offhand
lay-
if he
we
speaks
lay
that
claim
language.
to that.
Yeah.
Hey, professor, do you happen
Well-
to speak this archaic language?
Yeah, well, you'd have to ask the professor that. You're here on the auspices of using his ship. So, I mean,
Well, we're here on the auspices of we agreed to share mining profits with him. Right. And as I recall, we used our digger shuttle to go from the Rockhound to this asteroid,
okay.
right?
And you did recover his
and
shuttle.
we did all the wet work to take the base over. So I think we have a pretty good case.
And
Okay.
we also did conduct the proper revenge on his wife's murder.
Yes.
That is correct.
Say, hey, we got the guy that killed your wife. Hey, do you happen to speak this weird language?
All right. Well, I'm gonna. He is able to do some rough translation, and he fairly quickly identifies a verse name, and it says House of Nar, N-A-A-R, and some of you might recognize that name from history. There was a famous pirate named Nar, Hatsik Nar, who caused the first common muster. The first common muster was before there was a United Planetary Federation, but all the planets came together and pooled all their ships with guns to go after this pirate fleet that was raiding planet after planet.
Mustard. I thought you said mustard. I was all excited.
So
So
this and it's an older verse script that's not the common verse script. He can, and that's why he's not really fully able to translate it for you. But it seems like it's connected to Hatsik Nar potentially.
Possibly his tomb.
Well, Hatsik Nar, according to history, was spaced out an airlock to boil. They punched holes in his spacesuit and spaced him out the airlock after they captured him to boil to death as he slowly drifted towards the star there in Timian.
So when we were
stars.
digging, Tom, and you said that we felt that it might be hollow behind, like there's a chamber back there.
Yes.
So, okay. So we thank the professor for his translation work, and we escort him back to his shuttle.
I assume you took pictures and just sent
Right.
it.
Yeah, we showed him a picture.
So this could be this could be a treasure depot of Hatsik Nar.
Well, that's been one of the enduring mysteries. Like, where's Jimmy Hoffa? Curse of Oak Island is where is the Hatsik Nar treasure? Because after they captured the pirate fleet, people were going, there's just not enough loot on these ships to justify, as what they've, with all the raiding he did, it just seemed like there was not enough treasure on his ships when they finally stopped him. And so there's this enduring legend of the Hatsik Nar treasure.
Gotcha.
So taking a page from the Curse of Oak Island, here's where the real money is. We're going to create a reality TV show called The Treasure of Hatsik Nar. And we're going to run it for 9 seasons.
Hey, I love that show, though, man.
We're never
Come on.
going to quite learn anything, but we're going to find a button. This could have been Hatsik Nar's
Could it
button.
be? Could it be? It's a Bobby Dazzler. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, I love that show though. Come on now.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do too.
It's an entertaining show, but it's the same formula every episode, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Well, it drives me crazy that they, I'm like, when are they going to friggin' find something?
Right.
So, would you like to try to get behind this plate?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right. So,
Can we check for traps?
Sure. Who's the technician checking for traps?
Oh, sure. Volunteer me, stupid human.
The rest of us will hide behind crates.
Make a technician skill check.
Can I do the equivalent of aiming in regards to this? Like prepare my picks and my tools and go in cautiously to gain
Sure.
some sort of advantage to the roll?
Yeah, you can use plenty of caution and go ahead and make a skill check.
How about,
Oh.
do we have any NDT equipment, non-destructive testing equipment, X-ray, sonar, anything like that, to see if we can penetrate anything like that?
What do you have for equipment?
Well, we're on a mining ship, aren't we?
That specific equipment.
You have a technician's toolkit, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
The engineering one.
There's no scanner in the technician's toolkit, but
Fair enough. We're gonna roll.
yeah.
Here we go. I am on fire. 0-4.
Nice.
So you discover the secret hidden latch that causes the door to unseal, and it just there's a hissing sound as pressure equalizes between the two spaces, and the door begins to open. And
Draws light humor. All three hands. He falls on the floor. Nothing happened.
It's a room filled with
and then-
egg-like sacks. Somebody
and
put
then-
their face over it.
behind the door
Gosh.
is darkness, but then all of a sudden, like a light flicks on and off, and then comes on like it's trying to boot up, and you can see into there that there's like a hollowed out space that's 40 meters long, and there's another door at the far end, and it looks like there is a nuclear. They basically took a small atomic drive and used it as a nuclear generator in there to power this thing. The air is very stale. There's a little bit of rock dust that has settled, and
We've got our suits on, right? Or we have our
Yeah, we
space
still have our
on?
suits on.
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
so as you enter, you find that there's some quarters in there. Nothing that doesn't there's no personal items in the quarters. You find another room with it's the Versk version of a pipe organ, but it's it's like the bagpipes mated with a pipe organ, and so there's bags that they use. They sit on a stool and they do the compression on these bags to pump air into it, and so it's very grandiose. It's very Gothic looking, and there's a piece of sheet music sitting clipped to the board for the
Goonies.
pipe organ.
It's very Goonies vibes.
This
I'll
guy's a
get Phantom of the
vampire.
Opera.
So, in searching this area, this is very old. There's nothing in here written in Pangal that you guys can read, but you do find.
Who has
Space Diamond.
who has some
Say
who
it.
has some music skills that can play the
Say
organ?
it. Come on, say it. Space Diamonds.
I'm going to actually send you
One big space.
what you find on that sheet music.
It's from a famous Earth composer. It's called Furry Denise.
And so you can print this and look at it. This is the sheet music that you find. there's extra writing on it that appears to be like maybe somebody was writing in lyrics. You're not sure. Then somebody was doodling, and that's in purple. And then somebody was doodling in green in the upper left corner. And
did you send this somewhere that we should be seeing this?
He sent it to Facebook Messenger.
I put it in the Facebook Messenger, so you can download that and print a copy and take a look at it.
But you should share it here so people watching can see it. Man.
Yeah, let me just
Sing
pull it up.
the song of Hasdex Trove. Plot the path from.
Is it considered cheating if I call Zachary?
Why?
Bovine's Beasts.
So our son Zachary is like a music expert.
Well, I needed a piece of sheet music. All right, so here, let me do the share screen.
And he plays Dungeons and Dragons.
So there's some interesting chemistry in the upper left-hand corner too.
Oh yeah, there is.
CH. Let's see. H2 CH4.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I can't tell. H2N. Anybody know what that is?
Where do you see H2N?
The last one at the bottom.
N is nitrogen. H is hydrogen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So hydrogen, and carbon.
So
nitrogen and.
Well, the scientist here, your level 2 scientist, Cami, can tell you that the first 3 are hydrogen, helium, and methane. And the third one, with a line going off the page, could be ammonia.
So what I'm thinking is, if we get the song wrong, then we get poisoned.
Yeah, that's not going to work out in our favor. Sing the song.
So what are those little triangles to the right of the?
Oh yeah.
The structure.
Triangle.
Those look to be the equivalent of the verse version of Roman numerals. It's kind of like a cross between Roman numerals and cuneiform. So it's very old. So like Captain Nemo being from a planet where it's a population of Drolocytes and verse. That's what he thinks it is. If you show it to the professor, he'll probably be able to unravel that for you. So this here is a clue for you, and
oh wow,
some of these things in here. One or two of them I had to make up whole cloth, but there are some things you might be able to figure out on your own if you're a Star Frontiers nerd like me. But if you ask the right question, I'll give you the clue. And so if we want to play again, you can pursue this as for the third adventure. And because we're coming up on 11 o'clock, we're coming up on 10:30. And so I thought I would drop this clue with you, and it's something you can puzzle over till we play again.
Hey, are there any space diamonds?
There could be space diamonds.
I guess we have to look. We have to dig around to find out. We have to figure out.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a room full of space diamonds. I'm a little.
Well, that's probably maybe if we play the song right and get everything else right, then maybe that it'll let us into the room full of space diamonds. But
there's got to be some multi-billionaire who's a pirate lunatic that would pay big bucks.
Well, I bet the professor would be interested in this.
Professor doesn't like anything.
He likes history, and this is history.
I tried to show him history. He poo-pooed it.
No, you showed him novels.
They were old. They were history.
That's true. It was
one
question I have.
Was the professor relieved that we figured out we brought his wife's murderer to justice?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that question.
What was the professor relieved that we brought his wife's murderer to justice?
Yeah, he's very pleased. And there might be opportunity for you in the future to actually buy him out of the Rockhound and just own it outright for yourselves.
What was Robbie's reaction to us passing on the information that we removed the killer from his life?
Oh, well, no, Robbie's very pleased he makes very polite noises about, oh, very good job. I'm so gratified that you have captured these miscreants.
One other question I forgot to ask is when we were going through the computers and all that stuff, did we find anything good?
Oh, on which ship?
Like you said, when we first got in there was the humans all. Basically, I mean, because we took the other ship back to the professor, so I'm sure we
Right.
searched it first. But the ship and the computer inside the asteroid itself.
Yeah, the computer inside the asteroid had was hooked up to their comm system, their radio, and it was also recording. It had cameras and was recording, and so there's a lot of footage of it monitoring the space around the asteroid. So you have all that footage on the computer. It was just computer support for what they were doing, but it basically recorded anything when they weren't there, so that they could follow up on it. The Rockhound shuttle that you recovered had plenty of evidence to implicate these guys. There were orders to kill the captain of the Rockhound. There was a recording of orders for that. There was a comm order for the smugglers. There was a message sent to them saying the smugglers have loose lips, and that Whitey is to sew them shut before they spill more details about the vault. This asteroid is what they call the vault. Evidence that the Digger shuttle clearly belonged to Captain Stein, and there's evidence inside the shuttle that if you had run into them someplace else, you would have had evidence that would have led you to this vault. They had the location in their navigation database. So there's a lot of evidence there that helps convict these guys for the murder of Captain Stein, particularly the Drolosite who you captured. So he's going to be brought up on charges of murder. You now have this clue that could lead you to something, maybe some space diamonds, since that's what Gru is after.
Nice.
And you might be able to unravel some of these clues, and you can certainly say, hey, I'm researching this, and do that in the chat, in the instant messenger chat, and I'll probably respond. And why don't we set another date to play for 2 weeks from now?
That's Halloween.
Okay.
Oh, is that Halloween?
Hold on. Yes. Well, it's the day before Halloween. Okay, I guess it's fine. But some places do Halloween that day. Like,
Let's see, is that the 20th?
On the 30th?
I'm going to be traveling.
The 30th.
yeah.
Well, then maybe 3 weeks from now.
The 30th, I'm running a series of Halloween games using my system.
Then November, it's the 6th. November 6th is 3 weeks from today.
November 6th sound good to everybody?
So far, yeah. November 6th sounds
Potentially.
good.
I might have a hockey tournament with my son, but I'll confirm that.
Okay.
Did we get a reward from the Royal Marines?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Good point.
There's a $100,000 reward that you can split between the 5 of you
Nice.
for the capture of these guys. And then you had one good month of mining, so another 30,000 apiece. So 100,000 split 5 ways is 20,000 apiece. So you can add 50,000 to your bank account.
Nice.
That's the other thing I'm discovering about running one of these commerce campaigns. The amount of money that's involved quickly escalates. So the player characters.
Yeah, I feel like
one of the reasons why I never ran a Nighthawks campaign is added Nighthawks, because the money started escalating dramatically.
Yeah, I've never run a commerce campaign with like a freighter or a mining ship, and so this is one of the things I'm discovering. So I'm kind of like, I might have to start figuring out how to drain you guys of money through.
Well, the Captain Nemo is trying to save up for his own little yacht, so he needs to. Once he gets enough for his yacht, he's going to retire.
Well, there you go. That would drain your money. right quick.
So does the Rockhound have room for 2 digger shuttles or only 1? Because we've now recovered its original shuttle.
Yeah, you can piggyback both shuttles on the Rockhound.
Okay.
I think we should take those nice weapons that were on the. Give the professor his shuttle back in the original condition and move those weapons to our shuttle.
Well, give is an interesting word.
Well,
Well,
what
it was
I would-
his.
what I-
It's his shuttle, so it's his shuttle
Well,
here.
it is
Well, what I
stolen
would
property.
suggest to the professor is that we've retrieved that shuttle, right? That's not our shuttle. So if we're ever interested in buying the Rockhound, that he deduct the price of that shuttle from the purchase price of the Rockhound.
Sure, because he's got his property back, but it's either take money now for the actual effort to return it because it wasn't in the plan.
Right.
We got revenge for his justice for his murdered wife and got his property back. Give us some stuff.
You can probably quietly remove the pod laser, the pod lasers that were mounted on that shuttle,
Yes.
and then quietly add them to your own shuttle. The professor, it's one of those things like the professor would never know.
Right.
So we've got what 3 we have 3 on the Rockhound there's 3 lasers and a rocket battery, but our shuttle doesn't have any lasers, right?
Your shuttle doesn't, but you could probably move those are pod lasers, so they're a forward fire weapon. It means you got to line up the front of your ship with what you're targeting, and they're not as good as a laser battery in that they only have like 3 hexes that they could shoot effectively, whereas a laser battery on the Rockhound can shoot the 4 hexes for 40,000 kilometers. So, but it's a weapon. It arms your shuttle. It's certainly a modification you could do.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Cool. Let's do that then.
Yeah.
But I would say that's our immediate compensation, but I would still talk to the professor and say if he's ever interested in selling us the Rockhound, that we would want to deduct the price of the shuttle.
Yeah, you could probably
I agree with that.
Why don't we talk to him now about it? Maybe doing like a lease to own thing. So we pull in 100,000 and give him an extra 10% each time until we reach a certain agreed upon, and then we buy him out with a base price or something.
Yes,
Or we just murder him and take it. I'm just saying.
well, that's not.
I'm just kidding. You know we are.
I think Gru wants to go pirate.
No, that's just the way humans interpret humor.
I like where you're going with that, not the murder part, but right now he gets 2 shares, right? So if we say we'll pay him 1 share until we pay him X amount of money.
How much left
Right.
do we owe on this thing?
He owes another 100,000 on the ship.
I've got 200,000 in my pocket. I'll just buy the ship.
Yeah, the ship's worth about $1 million, so he's going to be looking for an appropriate amount.
Well, there's 5 of us. How much have y'all got?
I mean, so
I got 200.
He has a lot of equity in the ship, basically.
Well, what is he looking for? What's the price that he's looking for?
If he had to throw out a price right now, he'd say $1 million, 1 million credits.
Let's give him $1 million.
And wait a sec. How much is the shuttle worth?
The shuttle's worth about. I think they price out at 200,000. Brand new.
Will he agree? Will he agree that the price of the shuttle should be deducted from that $1 million, because we just basically returned that to him?
Sure, it's a used ship. You've returned the shuttle. He'll let you, 800,000, and the ship is yours.
How about rock, paper, scissors? And if we win, 750. And if we lose, $850.
What if we agree? What if we agree? And I say, all right, Professor, let us talk amongst ourselves for a moment. So what if we agree to pay him half now, which would be 400 grand, right? So 80 grand from each one of us. And then we agree to pay him the rest as a share until we pay off the remaining 400,000.
Yeah, I think that would be acceptable because he doesn't really want to be in the mining business.
What happens to the robot when we own the ship?
Well, you'll
Well,
have
the robot has an employment contract. He was being paid 500 credits a month, so we would continue to pay him that.
Well, do we even want him on the ship? Is what I'm saying. He's a weirdo.
He might be useful though. He might have some use for us.
Locks himself in his own room and has demands.
I'm just saying. I mean, we've been on the ship with him for months, and there's been nothing out of the ordinary that occurred, right? So, and he has the ability to pilot the ship,
and the food has been good, and you now know that he can pilot the ship.
He might prove useful.
So Robbie, if we bought the ship and it was ours free and clear, would you move off the ship and take stay with the professor, or would you want to stay on the ship?
That's Robbie's a little conflicted.
I thought he was a robot.
Yeah, well,
but he wants to be a human.
Robbie's pretending to be a sapient being. You know, he's kind of like Data, but he's I don't know how to answer that as game master right now. I know what's going on with Robbie, and I know that Robbie has his own agenda.
Sure.
So I'm going to have to think about that before I give you an answer.
Fair enough. So do we want to cut this deal, gang?
Sure. If we don't burn these credits, Tom's going to figure out a way to get them out of us anyway.
Oh yeah.
Well,
So true.
yeah, I will give you. Yeah, I will give 80.
So 80,000. So $400,000 down payment to the professor, 80K a piece.
And then you just cut him in for a share.
We'll cut him in for a share for the remainder of the remaining 400,000.
All right, I'm in. So down 80.
All right. So, what exactly are Robbie's duties by contract? What are his specific duties?
He cooks and cleans. He gets paid. He has quarters. And
getting paid is not duties. I'm asking specifically if he's going to be part of the crew. What is his billet? What are his responsibilities?
Well, you would have to negotiate that with him, I think.
I'm negotiating.
Well, we have a baseline contract though to base that on, right?
Yeah, he's got. That's what I'm saying. He's got a contract, right. So he is the steward. He cooks and cleans.
He keeps. Whenever there's extra duties for him to do, like, you know, when he cleaned your quarters, he made it real clear, even though it was outside my job description.
Oh.
So anytime he does anything extra, he lets you know, oh, you know, that's not, but it's okay. I was happy to do it. So he pulls those lines constantly. And he kind of insists that his purview is cooking and bartending. You know, so he does, you know, if there's a dinner or if there's off time when people are consuming alcohol, he will bartend. You know, he's happy to do that, but he always kind of has something to say about doing extra duties on the ship.
When you get ready to answer my question, Robbie, about what your choice would be to leave or stay, we're going to renegotiate what it is exactly you do here on the ship as an exact billet. So there's no question of doing things out of your purview.
Yeah.
What you tell us what you want to do for your paycheck, and we'll consider it.
All right. Well, what you don't know is that is that Robbie has been helping other robots as the underground monorail. That when there are other robots that are trying to escape servitude, other high-level robots are trying to escape servitude, he's been smuggling them on the Rockhound and then helping them,
That's why he wouldn't let us in the room. Gotcha.
So actually, he had made a small compartment on the orbital processing lab you guys don't know anything about. That's off the books, and so he's been smuggling other high-level robots from time to time, and Captain Stein was aiding and abetting that.
Oh, that's cool. No,
So
I'm all for that. So if he would share that, then Gru would be all for that.
So if you guys are okay with him continuing in this activity, he's okay with transferring his loyalty to you as a crew, providing that you are okay with him doing this activity. There's certainly people that would object to him doing this, helping other sentient robots.
Okay. So by becoming the ship's actual steward, not complaining, not making offhanded comments, but he will actually be doing the cooking, cleaning, entertaining. We lost your audio, Tom.
We lost Danny as well. Looks